The difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person is successful people simply stick with it when it gets hard. Not if it gets hard, when it gets hard. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's YouTube video right here from my pool. Today, we're going to be talking about how my wife and I went from living in Section 8 housing to making over 8 figures in online sales. Before we jump in, make sure to like and subscribe, hit the bell, do all that cool YouTube-y stuff. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much. Let's just jump right in, okay? So 16 years ago, my wife and I, we got married. We were dead broke, had no money at all. And so we got our first cute little apartment / condo, which at the time we didn't know, but it was Section 8 housing. If you don't know what Section 8 housing is, basically we live next to crackheads. I would not advise living next to crackheads, okay? We would literally get up in the middle of the night to people, gunshots firing, people just yelling at us for no reason, like crazy, right? Like super crazy. But we were happy. We didn't know any better. We're like, man, this is so cool. We're married. You know, we're so happy and content. And as happy and content as we were struggling financially, right? We didn't have hardly any money at all, just like most people when they first get married. It was hard for us to afford different things, easy things like groceries or gas. You ever been there before? And so we were living in Section 8 housing. And for those of you guys and gals, a lot of you guys and gals might be familiar with this, but we used to be involved in a lot of missionary work. And so we were hosting like events and conferences around our missionary initiatives, and it was so crazy because a lot of times we would be like down to the wire, like still need $30,000, still need $50,000 just to break even on the events that we were hosting for our missions work. And it was always a businessman, always a businesswoman who would bail us out. Like it was always like, oh my gosh, we need $45,000. And a business person would come and be like, how much do you guys need? And just boom, hit us with the check. And, you know, it was a win for them because obviously they'd get the tax write-off. And it was a win for us because we could pay all the bills for our missions endeavors or whatever, right? So something interesting happened. One time after hosting tons and tons and tons of these events, we'd come back to a very familiar place like, man, we need whatever, $50,000. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? And again, a business person would come out of the woodwork like, hey, we wanna help you guys. We love what you're doing on your mission stuff. Here's 50,000, here's 25,000, etc. And on this specific time, somebody came and blessed us with money for our mission stuff. And me and my wife started having a very interesting conversation. And the conversation was this: how do we become those people? Like, instead of like hoping somebody's going to give us money for missions, how do we become those kind of people who can actually write the checks, give the gifts? And that began to change our mindset. You know, the biggest thing when it comes to change in any situation in life, but specifically in your finances, it begins in the mindset. You've got to start thinking differently, right? And in fact, today I want to tell you a little bit about expansion. How many of you guys and gals are tired of just living paycheck to paycheck? You're tired of being broke. You're tired of not being able to afford simple things like groceries, or man, you can't fill up your whole entire gas tank because it's too much. Like, oh my gosh, $100 to fill up the gas tank. That's way too much. If you're tired of being there, then pay attention for the next couple of minutes because I want to share with you guys how to expand to the next level and not just be like my wife and I when we are just like hoping somebody would donate to our missions projects, but we actually became the people. We went from Section 8 to 8 figures. We became the people that it takes to not just be on the receiving side, but on the giving side, right? You've got to expand, and it begins with changing your mindset. That's the first thing. And the second thing is this: you've got to put yourself in new and different environments. I recently put out a piece of social media content that said it like this: expansion equals exposure. Too many people, maybe if you're watching right now, maybe the reason why you're broke, why you're struggling, why you're still in a scarcity mindset with everything is because you're hanging out with broke people, man. Maybe you're having broke conversations. Like maybe you are hanging around people that every time you get around them, they're talking about how they can't afford this and they can't do that. And that's too much. And oh my gosh, gas is so expensive. Man, let me tell you this. If you're worried about gas, if you're worried about the price of eggs or the price of milk, you have the wrong problem. right? You need bigger problems. You need to get around people who are doing bigger things so that you can expand. It's the only way to expand is you have to be exposed to new possibilities. You have to see things in a new light. And here's the thing, if somebody else did it, you can do it too. If somebody else accomplished it, you can do it too. Every single family has that one person who breaks generational curses. You know, here's what I tell my students, here's what I tell my friends, here's what I tell myself. Anytime someone says, man, this runs in our family, you look back at them and you say, this is where it runs out, right? You don't have to continue leaning on your generational history of why you're still broke, why you're struggling, etc. You can be the person, you can be the guy, you can be the gal who breaks the generational curse to where you're no longer struggling with being broke. You're no longer struggling with lack. You're no longer struggling with, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. You've got to be the person to break into the next level. Maybe that's you. I hope it's you. And the way it's going to happen, number one, you got to change your mindset, right? Number two, you've got to put yourself in new situations, man. Like you've got to expose yourself to new possibilities. If somebody else did it, you can do it too. I say it like this, the more you see, the more you can be. And if something is going to happen, it's up to you. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to bail you out. No one's coming to pay all your bills or do this and that. It's got to be up to us to become that new kind of person that expands who we are, beginning with our mindset so that we can actually change our family tree forever. So fast forward a little bit, we're living in Section 8 housing. You know, at the time we were like, this is so cool. But after a few short months, we're like, this is crazy. There's crackheads everywhere. You know, it's insane. There's gunshots. We need to do something better. And I don't know about you, but I wanted to change my family tree. So guess what we did? We started investing into mentorships. We started investing into courses. We started investing into our mindset. We started to get around people who were further along than us financially. We begin to see the possibilities like, oh my gosh, you don't have to drive like a beat up car that is ran into the ground and has 300,000 miles on it. You can actually drive something nice. Like it's not about the nice car, guys. It's about the mindset, right? We begin to get around people who could actually fill up their gas tank without even blinking. We begin to get around people who, you know, they could afford to put in a beautiful pool like this and not even think twice. We begin to get around people who were the givers and not just the takers, the makers and not just the takers. We begin to get around different people. And here's the crazy part, guys. The more we expose ourselves to this new way of thinking, this new way of living, the more we saw what was possible, the more it started happening for us. Now, of course, it doesn't just happen magically. It doesn't just happen overnight. You've got to take massive action. That's the third thing I want to talk to you about today. You've got to take massive action on whatever new skills that you are learning. As your mindset is expanding, as your vision is expanding, right? As you're exposing yourself to seeing new things and new mindsets, then the third thing you got to do is you've got to take massive action on all of the new information that you are being exposed to. And I'm telling you this, it doesn't always go right, especially not the first time. A lot of times it takes many times of trying, failing. The difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person is successful people simply stick with it when it gets hard. Not if it gets hard, when it gets hard. And I'm telling you guys right now, that is literally how we went from Section 8 housing when we first got married to now, just in the past couple of years, generating over 8 figures in online sales. So guys, here's what I want to see for you. I want to see you become that person that breaks the generational curses off of your life. I want to see you become that man, that woman who says, man, enough is enough. I've got to get around new people. I got to stop having broke conversations. I need to start seeing the possibilities of what is actually available to me. Here's a couple of quick tips that you can do to start expanding your mindset. Number one, start looking for $2 million, $3 million, $5 million homes in your city and just go visit them. Go look at them. Go stand in them. What would it feel like to actually stand in a house like this? Go to a car dealership of your favorite dream car, or maybe on Turo or a rental car facility, and go rent or go test drive your dream car and sit in the seat and say, man, this is what it feels like. Another practical thing you can do is go next time you need gas, go put gas, and instead of hitting the cheapest one, hit the most expensive option and fill the whole tank up. Because the punchline is this: if you want to go from Section 8 to 8 figures, you have to understand that nothing is bigger than your potential. No bill is bigger than your potential. No problem is bigger than your potential. And if you want to be that man, that woman who breaks the generational curses off of your family, you've got to start thinking more, thinking bigger, doing more, seeing more, exposing yourself to more, and taking massive action. I hope this video has been helpful to you guys. That's how my wife and I, we went from Section 8 housing to over 8 figures in online sales. I hope you guys got some value from this. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I got tons more content like this coming, maybe more from my pool, we'll see. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway was from this video. See you guys next time. Hey, if you like that video and you want to learn how my students are making an extra $5,000 to $10,000 every single month, then click the link below and book a free strategy session with my team. You'd be glad you did.